I destroyed my ex-fiancé's engagement at his party, in front of 73 guests, with a champagne toast. And I'd do it again. But let me back up. Let me tell you how I got there. If you've ever been blindsided by someone you trusted completely, hit that like button right now. Because this story is about to show you exactly what happens when you underestimate the wrong person. 4 months ago, I thought I knew who Marcus Reeves was. We'd been together for 6 years, engaged for 8 months. We lived in a 3-bedroom townhouse in Henderson, Nevada, 3847 Sunset Ridge Drive, if you want to be specific. I was 31, he was 34. We had a wedding date set for October 14th, 2025. I had already ordered my dress from David's Bridal, paid the deposit on the venue at Lake Las Vegas Resort, booked the photographer. I'm a senior financial analyst at a tech consulting firm. I make $94,000 a year. Marcus is a commercial real estate developer. Or that's what he tells people. He runs Reeves Property Development LLC. His office is in a glass building on Green Valley Parkway. We met at a networking event at the M Resort in 2019. One of those tedious Chamber of Commerce mixers where everyone's scanning name tags and making calculations about who's worth talking to. Marcus wore a charcoal Tom Ford suit. He had this way of making you feel like you were the only person in the room. That should have been my first warning. People who are that smooth have usually practiced. But I didn't see it then. I saw a successful developer who owned 2 investment properties and drove a black Tesla Model X. I saw someone who talked about building a future, who said he wanted 3 kids and a house with a pool, who proposed on the high roller observation wheel with a 2.1 carat diamond from Tiffany & Co. Looking back, I can map the exact moments I should have questioned things. But hindsight is clinical, precise, unhelpful. March 2025. That's when I first noticed something off. Marcus started working late more frequently. 3 nights a week became 4, then 5. He'd come home around 10:47 p.m. smelling like cologne I didn't recognize, Dior Sauvage, I later learned. Not his usual Bleu de Chanel. I asked about it once. April 9th, a Tuesday. You're wearing different cologne. He barely looked up from his phone. Client meeting. Guy was wearing something strong. Must have transferred. Plausible. Clinical explanation. I filed it away. April became May. The late nights continued. I started tracking patterns the way I track financial data. Wednesday, May 7th, home at 11:03 p.m. Friday, May 9th, home at 11:34 p.m. Tuesday, May 13th, home at 10:52 p.m. All allegedly client meetings, all with the same cologne. I didn't confront him. I observed. Collected data points. May 18th. Saturday morning. I was making Folger's coffee in our Keurig when his phone buzzed on the kitchen counter. He was in the shower. The screen lit up with a text notification. Can't wait to see you tonight. The contact name was J. Morrison, client. I photographed the screen with my iPhone 14. Timestamp, 9:23 a.m. Then I put his phone back exactly where he'd left it, angled at 43 degrees to the edge of the counter. That night, Marcus told me he had a client dinner. Steakhouse. Expected to be home by 10:30 p.m. Which steakhouse? The one in Summerlin. Echo and Rig. I didn't follow him. I had Life 360 on my phone. We'd installed it 8 months earlier for safety when I was driving late from work. The app showed me exactly where he was. He wasn't at Echo and Rig. He was at an apartment complex on Durango Drive. Building 4, if the GPS pin was accurate. He stayed there from 7:47 p.m. until 11:09 p.m. I sat on our gray sectional couch from Ashley Furniture and watched the blue dot on my phone. Didn't move. Didn't cry. Just watched. When he came home at 11:17 p.m., I was reading a John Grisham novel. He kissed my forehead, said the dinner ran long, asked about my day. I said it was fine. Clinical. Detached. Gathering evidence. The next 3 weeks were an exercise in documentation. I didn't confront, didn't cry, didn't give any indication I knew. I tracked his location every time he claimed to be at a client meeting, cross-referenced with his calendar that synced to our shared Google account. Photographed text notifications when they appeared. June 4th, Durango Drive apartment, 8,011 p.m. to 10,054 p.m. June 8th, same location, 7,033 p.m. to 11:41 p.m. June 11th, same location, 8,045 p.m. to 12,003 a.m. The pattern was consistent, precise. Every Wednesday and Saturday. I also started reviewing our financial records. Joint checking account at Wells Fargo. Credit cards. Business accounts for Reeves Property Development LLC. That's when things got interesting. Marcus had named me as a co-signer on his business accounts in 2023. For estate planning purposes, he'd said. In case something happens to me, you can access funds for the funeral. I'd signed the documents at his lawyer's office without thinking much about it. Standard stuff for engaged couples. But co-signer meant I had legal access to everything. Business bank statements, transaction records, corporate credit card statements. I started pulling reports. May alone, $8,473 in charges at high-end restaurants I'd never been to. $2,890 at Tiffany & Co. On May 22nd, a date I was working late. $1,200 at Victoria's Secret on May 29th. $847 at Sephora, scattered across multiple dates. None of it for me. I compiled spreadsheets, categorized expenses, built a timeline, cross-referenced charges with his location data from Life 360. The Tiffany & Co. charge on May 22nd happened at 2,047 p.m. His location showed him at the Fashion Show Mall on Las Vegas Boulevard. I was in a budget meeting that afternoon. He told me that evening he'd been at a construction site in Summerlin. I didn't say anything, just added it to my documentation file. By mid-June, I had 47 pages of evidence. Screenshots, bank statements, location data, timeline analysis. I organized it the way I organize quarterly financial reports, color-coded, cross-referenced, indexed. I also hired a private investigator, Stephanie Chen from Desert Investigations LLC. I met her at a Starbucks on Eastern Avenue on June 12th, paid $1,500 up front via Venmo. She confirmed what I already knew within 3 days. The woman was Jennifer Morrison, 28 years old, dental hygienist at a practice on Silverado Ranch Boulevard. Blonde, moved to Henderson from Sacramento in 2024. Lived in that apartment on Durango Drive, Building 4, Unit 237. Stephanie also discovered they'd been together since March, possibly earlier. She had photos of them at restaurants, walking into her apartment building, in his Tesla at a parking garage downtown. But here's what Stephanie found that I didn't know. Marcus was planning to leave me. He told Jennifer I was temporary, that he was working on an exit strategy, that once the wedding was closer and I'd paid for more of the expenses, he'd break it off and keep the deposits. Stephanie recorded this from Jennifer herself. They'd struck up a conversation at a Pilates class at Henderson Gym on June 18th. Jennifer thought Stephanie was just another friendly woman. Started talking. Said her boyfriend was almost free from his mistake engagement. I listened to the recording in my car in the parking garage, at work. Twice. Clinical assessment of the data. Then, I made a decision. I wasn't going to confront Marcus. I wasn't going to cry or beg or give him the satisfaction of seeing me hurt. I was going to do something much more effective. I was going to let him think he'd won. And then, I was going to dismantle his life with surgical precision. June 20th. I came home from work at 6,047 p.m. Marcus was in the kitchen cooking salmon on our Cuisinart skillet. He seemed cheerful, relaxed. He'd opened a bottle of Pinot Grigio from Trader Joe's. I need to talk to you, he said. I put my fossil purse on the counter. Okay, I don't think we should get married. He said it casually, like he was suggesting we skip dinner at a restaurant. No preamble, no apology in his voice. I looked at him, measured my response. Why? I just don't think we're right for each other anymore. I need space. I think we want different things. Generic language. Rehearsed. Probably practiced in Jennifer's apartment on Durango Drive. Okay, I said. He blinked. Okay? If that's what you want, okay. I didn't yell. Didn't ask about Jennifer. Didn't mention the bank statements or the cologne or the 47 pages of evidence I'd compiled. He seemed disappointed, like he'd expected more of a reaction. I'll move out this week, I said. I'll get my stuff and find an apartment. You can stay for a few weeks if you need to, no. I'll be out by Friday. And I was. I packed my belongings from our townhouse on Sunset Ridge Drive over 3 days. Clothes, books, dishes I'd brought from my previous apartment. I left the furniture we'd bought together, left the Keurig, left the framed photos on the walls, took only what was mine. I moved into a 1-bedroom apartment in Green Valley on June 28th. Paid first and last month's rent plus deposit, $3,600 total. I didn't ask Marcus for money, didn't ask for help. I let him think I'd crumbled quietly. Disappeared gracefully, accepted defeat. What he didn't know, I was building a case. Because here's what I discovered in those final 2 weeks in the townhouse while packing. Marcus's business wasn't just shady in the obvious ways. It was a mess of financial misconduct that I could unravel with one phone call. Reeves Property Development LLC had 3 major projects in development, 2 commercial properties and 1 residential complex. Total project value, approximately $4.7 million. Marcus had secured funding through a combination of bank loans and private investors. The problem? He'd been using corporate funds for personal expenses since 2024. The Tiffany & Co. purchases. The restaurant bills. Even the Tesla wasn't paid for by him personally, it was leased through the business. That's bad, but not catastrophic. What was catastrophic, Marcus had falsified financial documents to secure a $1.2 million construction loan from Nevada State Bank in April 2025. He'd inflated asset values, misrepresented cash reserves, forged my signature on documents to show I'd contributed $50,000 in capital to the LLC. I found the documents in his home office on June 25th, filed in a drawer labeled 2025 projects. He wasn't even trying to hide them. I photographed everything. Every page, every forged signature, every inflated number. Then I scheduled a meeting with his business partner, David Nguyen. Marcus had worked with him since 2022. They co-owned 2 of the properties in development. David had invested $380,000 of his own money into the projects. I met David at a Panera Bread on Stephanie Street on July 3rd. I brought printed copies of the bank statements, the falsified loan documents, and the timeline of Marcus's affair with Jennifer. I need you to know what Marcus has been doing, I said. David read through the documents for 11 minutes. Didn't say a word, just read. When he finished, he looked at me. How long have you known? Since May. Why didn't you tell me sooner? I needed to be sure. I needed evidence that would hold up. David leaned back in his chair. What do you want me to do with this? Whatever you think is appropriate. But I wanted you to know before anyone else. He called his lawyer that afternoon. 3 weeks later, Marcus sent me an invitation via email. Subject line, you're invited. It was a paperless post invitation to an engagement party. His and Jennifer's. Scheduled for July 26th at 7:00 p.m. location. A private event space at M Resort. The same place where we'd met 6 years earlier. The email included a personal message. Would mean a lot if you came. No hard feelings. Let's celebrate moving forward. I stared at the invitation for approximately 4 minutes. Then, I RSVP'd yes. Before I tell you what I did next, if you're invested in this story, smash that subscribe button. Because what happened next, you won't see it coming. I spent 2 weeks preparing for that engagement party. Not the way you'd prepare for a social event, the way you'd prepare for a deposition. I contacted David Nguyen, asked if he'd received his invitation to the party. He had. Marcus had invited him as a business partner. David agreed to attend with me. I also contacted Stephanie Chen, the private investigator. Asked if she could attend as my plus one. She agreed. I paid her $800 for the evening. Then I drafted a toast. July 26th. Saturday evening. I arrived at the M Resort at 7:23 p.m. Wore a black Banana Republic sheath dress. Nothing flashy. Professional. Understated. The event space was decorated with white roses and gold accents. String lights overhead. A bar in the corner serving signature cocktails named after Marcus and Jennifer. Approximately 73 guests mingled with champagne flutes. Marcus was near the entrance when I walked in. He saw me, looked surprised, then smiled in that smooth way of his. You came. You invited me. Jennifer appeared next to him. Blonde, 5'6", wearing a champagne-colored cocktail dress from Nordstrom. She extended her hand. I'm Jennifer. It's nice to finally meet you. I shook her hand. Likewise. She seemed nervous. Kept glancing at Marcus. He put his arm around her waist. Possessive. Performative. I'm really glad we can all move forward like adults, Marcus said. No hard feelings, right? None, I said. I moved through the crowd. Spotted David Nguyen near the bar. He nodded at me. Stephanie Chen was positioned near the back. Camera discreetly in her purse. At 8:14 p.m., Marcus's best man, a guy named Troy, who worked in his office, called for everyone's attention. Time for toasts. Troy went first. Generic speech about Marcus being a great friend and how happy he was to see him with Jennifer. Guests applauded. Jennifer's maid of honor went next. Talked about how Jennifer had finally found someone who appreciated her. More applause. Then Troy looked at me. Anyone else want to say something? I raised my hand. Marcus's face changed. Slight confusion. He hadn't expected this. I'd love to, I said. I walked to the front of the room, accepted the microphone from Troy, looked at the 73 guests watching me. Thank you all for being here tonight, I started. I'm Sarah Chen. Some of you know me as Marcus's ex-fiancé. We were together for 6 years. Engaged for 8 months. Until June, when Marcus decided we weren't right for each other. I paused, let that settle. A few awkward glances exchanged among guests. And honestly, he was right. We weren't right for each other. Because I have certain standards for honesty and integrity that Marcus doesn't share. Marcus took a step forward. Sarah, I continued. For example, I believe that when you're in a committed relationship, you shouldn't be sleeping with your dental hygienist 3 nights a week since March. But that's just me. Silence. Absolute silence in that room. Jennifer's face went white. I also believe, I continued, my voice measured and calm, that when you run a business, you shouldn't falsify loan documents. You shouldn't forge your partner's signature on financial statements. And you definitely shouldn't use corporate funds to buy engagement rings for your mistress. Marcus's face was red now. You need to stop, but I'm not the one you need to worry about, Marcus. Your business partner is. I gestured to David Nguyen, who was standing near the bar with his arms crossed. David filed a lawsuit against you 4 days ago for fraud, breach of fiduciary duty, and misappropriation of corporate funds. I provided him with 47 pages of evidence, bank statements, forged documents, timeline analysis, all of it. Marcus looked at David. David stared back, expressionless. You're also going to be hearing from Nevada State Bank, I said, because they're very interested in the falsified loan documents you used to secure that $1.2 million construction loan. Federal crime, by the way. Bank fraud carries up to 30 years. Jennifer started crying. Actual tears. She looked at Marcus. You said you were single. You said. He lied. I interrupted. He lied to you. He lied to me. He lied to his business partner. And he lied to the bank. That's what Marcus does. I set the microphone down on a nearby table. Looked at Marcus directly. Congratulations on your engagement. Hope it works out better than ours did. Then I walked out of that event space at 8:22 p.m., leaving 73 guests in stunned silence behind me. 4 months later, I'm sitting in my 1-bedroom apartment in Green Valley. It's November 19th, 6:47 p.m. I'm drinking Folgers coffee from my Keurig and watching the sunset through my window. Here's what happened after that toast. Marcus's engagement to Jennifer ended that night. She left the party 15 minutes after I did. Broke up with him via text message at 9:03 p.m. Stephanie Chen confirmed this. Jennifer told her mutual friends at their Pilates class the following week. David Nguyen's lawsuit is ongoing. Marcus has already spent over $45,000 on legal fees, according to public court records. The case goes to trial in February 2026. Nevada State Bank launched an investigation into the falsified loan documents. Marcus has hired a criminal defense attorney. No charges filed yet, but the investigation is active. Reeves Property Development, LLC, is under audit by the Nevada State Contractors Board. 2 of Marcus's projects have been put on hold pending resolution of the financial disputes. Marcus moved out of our townhouse on Sunset Ridge Drive in August. He's living in a studio apartment in Spring Valley now. His Tesla Model X was repossessed in September. Turns out, he was 3 months behind on the lease payments. As for me, I'm doing fine. I got promoted to Senior Financial Analyst Team Lead in September. $107,000 salary. I moved into a 2-bedroom apartment with a better view in October. I've been on 3 dates with a civil engineer I met through a friend. Nothing serious yet, but he's kind, honest, normal. I don't regret what I did at that engagement party. I don't feel guilty about the lawsuit or the investigation or Marcus living in a studio apartment. Because here's the thing, I didn't destroy Marcus's life. I exposed what he'd already done. The fraud was real. The lies were real. The forged documents were real. I just made sure other people knew about it. Some people say I went too far, that I should have just walked away, let karma handle it. But karma doesn't file lawsuits. Karma doesn't provide evidence to banks. Karma doesn't give a perfect toast at an engagement party in front of 73 witnesses. I do. So here's what I want to know. Was I right to expose Marcus at his engagement party? Or should I have handled it privately? Because I genuinely don't know. Some days I think I did the ethical thing. Prevented him from defrauding more investors. Protected Jennifer from marrying a con artist. Other days I wonder if I was just vindictive. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Tell me if I crossed a line. And if you want more stories like this, complicated, messy, real, subscribe to Revenge Saga. Hit that notification bell. I'll see you in the next one.